Hello, fighters! My name is Chance, welcome to my spellbook, and thank you so much for taking a look at the 5th episode of our Fighting Style series. Today we're going to be going over one of the more interesting fighting styles, at least from my perspective, and certainly in terms of what exists in the core rules. We're going to be going over Protection. Now, this is the perfect fighting style for those of you who want to play a more damage sponge or even support related role as a fighter. To call this a damage sponge isn't 100% accurate, but for the most part it fills the same role. Before we move on to the fighting style description, if you'd like to check out the rest of the series in its entirety, please do check out the playlist by either clicking on that little eye icon in the top corner there, or waiting until the end of the video and checking out the end cards. In any case, let's dive right in to Protection. Its description reads as followed. When a creature you can see attacks a target other than you that is within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll. You must be wearing a shield. So, as I am not really an experienced fighter player or paladin player or any of the other classes that get fighting styles, I do have a question for you guys. So, I've done my digging online, I haven't found an answer to this, and I'm hoping you guys might be able to level in here. So, when I read this, what it sounds like is, let's say you and a buddy are walking up to a horde of enemies shoulder to shoulder, and then whenever an enemy attacks him, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on that attack roll. But what I'm a little bit curious about is, does the attack have to be within that 5 feet as well? You know what I mean? Like, when I look at this, when a creature you can see attacks a target other than you that is within 5 feet of you, comma, right? So the target they're attacking has to be within 5 feet of you, assuming my English is up to date, right? But it doesn't say that the creature attacking has to be within that same distance, at least not as far as I can tell. I mean, it might be implied that that's the case, but assuming it's not, I think that really opens up what this fighting style can do, right? I mean, I've been reading a lot about it online, and a lot of people aren't super happy about it, but in any case, the question I want to pose to you guys is, can you use Protection against something other than a melee attack, like a ranged attack or even a spell attack? I think that's a fair question, right? I don't know, I might be just completely misreading this, but I don't think that I am. In any case, let's move on to my personal thoughts here. So, first let's address the pitfalls of Protection. I'm not trying to harsh it at all, but it does have one glaring problem. And that is, it doesn't scale, like, at all. And it only applies to one attack roll. So when you're dealing with something with multi-attack, and a lot of creatures later on, almost all of them have multi-attack in one form or another, it doesn't do anything. It also doesn't do anything against saving throw related effects. However, in terms of benefits, the best way to protect your allies is to just not let them take damage in the first place, right? I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer, and this is really the only fighting style that lets you... it's the only fighting style in the core rules that lets you do it. Tasha's Cauldron of Everything adds in something kind of similar to this, and we'll talk about that in a later video, of course. But my question you guys earlier of, does this apply to other attacks as well, just not outside of melee? So, if that's the case, and if you can make this apply to like spell attacks or ranged attacks, then I think this stands to be a lot better. However, that's just my thought. I haven't played this fighting style at all, so I can only operate based off of what I've read and other people's testimonials, so be sure to share your thoughts down beneath. And if you have any thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to share them down there as well. And I'm stuttering like crazy, so I am sorry about that. But in any case, if you'd like to get access to a free one-shot, please feel free to do so over at the Guild Hall. Just use code WELCOME. And as always, I hope you all have a great day, and of course, happy adventuring.